What is going on, guys? Welcome to Party on Broad. Today, our Sixers 2022-23 season preview continues with our countdown of the most important Sixers to next season. And to help me break it down, I've got our Sixers beat writer for the Painted Lines, among many, many other things. He is Austin Crow. Follow him on Twitter at NBA Crow. What's up, Austin?
What's going on, Dibes? It's always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Happy belated birthday, by the way. Was it a good one?
It was good. I got some Asian food. It was great. 26 yesterday. So getting old.
Believe me, I'm way older than you are, man. I'm way older than you are. We do have some news. Mitch Kopsky and house saying Harden got paid. What's your quick reaction with the James Harden 2-year, 1-year player option reaction?
It's a little more than I think what the original calculations were. But I mean, they still have space below the apron. They still have a little bit of flexibility for moves. I'm just glad that it's over with because I was getting tired of waiting for the announcement and having to think about contingency for what to do if it happens while I'm doing something else or I'm out. So now that it's over, I'm glad.
Absolutely. I think it's a win-win, total top to bottom. But let's roll on why we're here tonight. We're talking about our number 9 rankings for the most important Sixers to the season. Here is our number 10. Austin went with George Niang. Bless you. And I went with Isaiah Joe.
I tried to get out in front of
it. And we have Ben Butler in the house. What's it going on, man? Thanks for joining, guys. If you're new to the Painted Lines, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Tons and tons of Sixers content all the time. Austin, you lead us off, man. Who is your number 9 most important Sixer?
It's a shame he could not be higher because of what he does for a team that is now down with Ben Simmons in the past. Matisse Thybulle is my number 9. The reason that he is my number 9 is because as good as a defender as he is, his offensive limitations are so severe that he cannot play starters minutes. Matisse Thybulle shot 31% from 3 last season, and he 76% at the rim. And if we look at his frequency, 46% of his shots come at the rim, 45% came from 3. So basically 91% of his field goals are coming between the rim and the 3-point line. They only shot 31% from the 3-point line. So definitely not cutting it on offense. And because of that limitation, his full defensive prowess cannot affect the game because he can't be in the game for all that long.
Yeah. I don't have Matisse Thybulle here at my number 9. We'll be talking about him very, very soon on another show in the near future. But yeah, Matisse Thybulle has not taken that leap forward that we expected. I don't know, man. When he wasn't in those games in the playoffs, I don't know how much his defensive impact was missing on this team. Definitely the athleticism for sure. But yeah, Matisse Thybulle is one of the more disappointing stories from last season for sure. His shooting has not come around, especially in the catch and shoot. And I do think there is something there, though. I do think there is something there for Thybulle in this season with a full off season with James Harden, a full year with Harden kind of, being that floor general, maybe some more off-ball movement within this offense, some more backdoor cuts. Because when Thybulle does cut to the basket, I thought he was excellent last year. The problem is they don't do it enough. And that kind of goes back to Doc, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that enough guys cut with enough consistency that I think it's something that that Doc has tried to really put his imprint on with the team's offensive concepts. I think it's about number 1, just presence of mind to cut when you have a path to the basket, and then number 2, the internal battle of do I cut, do I space, when to move off ball along the arc, when to take advantage of a sleeping helper and dive backdoor. So I think it's just Matisse has kind of had a hard time. He struggled with consistently being in the right frame of mind for that. But I think other guys have cut enough where I believe that it's something that Doc has inculcated in their offense.
Yeah, Ben says Matisse improved as a cutter. He just needs to hit his shots. Like I can't get the image of Matisse, especially in the playoffs when Joel Embiid is just getting mugged down low, and there's not a single guy within 15 feet of Thybulle in the corner. Like that's Thybulle. He's not a high volume shooter that the Sixers need. So it's kind of one of those pick your poison type of players. I'm gonna roll on to my number 9, and I am rolling with Danuel House Jr. I think this is a guy who checks off a lot of boxes with his fit. He's a tough perimeter defender. Little toughness there for Joel Embiid. He can shoot a little. He can defend a little. Definitely defend multiple spots. He shot 39.2% from 3 in the catch and shoot last year. 38% from the corners on 63 attempts. And what you like to see during his stint with the Utah Jazz, Danuel House Jr., and the Jazz outscored his opponents 8.4 points per 100 possessions when he was on the court. I think he's a solid athlete. I think he's going to add that athleticism that the Sixers really need. I think he's going to do fine getting out in transition. I think he can push the ball a little bit himself as well. The Sixers were, kind of not a great team in transition last year, at least in terms of frequency. I think there could be some real kind of nice potential there between James Harden and Danuel House Jr., especially off that second unit, which I really want to see the Sixers team push that tempo there on that second unit. And I think what I like most about Danuel House Jr. is that he doesn't hesitate from 3. He's averaged 6.3 3-pointers per 36 minutes in his career. This guy comes to Philadelphia with a ton of experience. Last year, being the benefit of a pick and roll offense, getting good looks from guys like Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Jordan Clarkson. The Utah Jazz averaged the second most 3-point attempts in the league last year. The Sixers were 25th in 3-point attempts. So I think the ingredients are kind of are all in place for the Sixers to almost somewhat replicate the Utah Jazz offense, because I know Morey wants to shoot more threes. And I think Danuel House could be easily average somewhere around like 15 to 20 minutes per game. And I think his fit is very clear. What's your take on Danuel House?
Yeah, I agree. 15 to 20 minutes a game seems about right. I think one of the things that Doc will like about him is he's really good at understanding space and transition. So he knows how to fill the gaps and transition wide and then cut into the hoop. And 3-on-2s, 2-on-1s, he's adept at that. He's comfortable shooting off the catch. Sixers fans will get some PTSD at his hitchy jump shot, but it goes in with at a high enough clip that you're fine with it. I think it's a solid signing, and it adds another guy that Harden is comfortable with, in the past. And I think there's the more guys that you can surround Joel and James with, who can shoot the ball and can provide the cohesion and the gelling that they need, the better.
Yeah. Speaking of Matisse Thybulle, like Danuel House is almost the opposite when it comes to like just jacking up shots. Per 36 minutes, Danuel House Jr. doubles what Thybulle offers from the perimeter, which is something to be said. No, he's not going to play that role of Matisse Thybulle and take out the primary offensive weapon on another team. But Ben Butler says House will take minutes from Furk and Matisse. That's interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see Doc's lineup combinations, because I think I'm in the minority probably. Like, I think the Sixers are primed for a really good season this year. I think the Sixers team is really set up for success, mostly because that second unit is so much upgraded from previous seasons, and guys like Danuel House Jr. and D'Anthony Melton, we haven't touched on him yet, but that second unit's looking nice, and I think Danuel House Jr. is definitely an upgrade over Furkan. How much of an upgrade is House over Matisse? Like, do you have any quick takes on that?
He's he's an league average to above league average shooter, and I think more so than anything, it's someone that Harden knows how to play off of, and that knows how to play off of Harden, and that should help it advance, and I guess quicken the gelling process for this team, and they should be able to come together quicker because they have guys that have experience playing with one another. If not on this team or with Joel Embiid in previous stops in their careers.
Well said. I could not agree more. All right, man. That's pretty much it. Any other comments on Matisse Thybulle or Danuel House Jr.?
Nah, that's all I got. Yeah,
me too, man. All right. So thank you, everyone, for watching. You can go check out our number 10 reveal. That was just a few days ago on I already forgot who it was. It was Isaiah Joe and George Niang. Anyway, Austin, anything you want to plug, man?
Just be on the lookout for some more Sixers content with the signing of James Harden now official. I'll probably put together a little bit of a newser on that tonight. But our long nightmare that plagued America more than anything over the last month or so is over.
I love it, man. Just excited to get this season going. We've got several months to go, but we'll be back with our number 8 most important 76er in the near future. So be on the lookout for that. We'll announce that, especially on Twitter. Make sure you follow the Painted Lines on Twitter for that announcement. Tomorrow night, we are counting down our top 3 reasons for optimism for the Sixers this season. So we're basically breaking down why the Sixers are contenders. So maybe a little homerisms in that show. We will see. So that is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. East Coast time. I've got my Eagles, next draft video coming down. That is my top 5 safety rankings. Final thoughts. Go watch Fear Street, Austin. I watched the first 2 Fear Street movies. It's a horror movie on Netflix. It was pretty good. I'm excited.
I watched for my birthday. I watched Happy Death Day.
I heard that's really good. I never saw it.
It could not have been a dumber horror movie. And it was so stupid that I actually rented the second one. I wanted to watch that one too. I think it was a well-intended message, but it could not have been more unrealistic and just flat out stupid.
Yeah. That's kind of like stupid and horror kind of go hand in hand. Way too much. But anyway, thank you everyone for watching. We'll be back in the near future for our number 8. Follow Austin on Twitter at NBA Crowd. Check out all of his amazing work for the Painted Lines at thepaintedlines.com. Check out the Feed to Embiid podcast. Awesome.
Check out my beard too. My beard is coming in real nicely. That'll be gone in the next couple of weeks, but it's had a good life, and I think it's seen the best of me. So
I love it. Ben says top 3 reasons: Embiid, and Embiid. You're not wrong. You're not wrong about that one. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. Please give this video a like. Please be sure to subscribe. Comment about your thoughts on Danuel House Jr. and Matisse Thybulle down in that comment section below. For Austin, for myself, stay awesome, everyone.